2024 was supposed to be your year, wasn't it? The year you finally saved money, built that emergency fund, invested or maybe even started that business idea sitting in your notes. But then, life happened. Bills piled up, motivation faded, and suddenly December arrived, reminding you that nothing really changed. You promised yourself that 2025 would be different, but deep down, you've said that before. The truth is, most people repeat their failures not because they lack desire, but because they never learn how to break their financial patterns. Let's face it, the new year doesn't automatically bring change. What changes your life is the strategy behind your decisions. Look at how people approach January. They set vague resolutions like, "I'll save more," "I'll invest," or "I'll spend less." But without clarity and structure, these goals collapse by February. The problem isn't that people don't care, it's that they operate emotionally, not strategically. Wealth doesn't respond to feelings, it responds to systems, patience, and knowledge. And 2025 can become your breakthrough year, but only if you start thinking differently right now. Think about it this way: every year, millions of people enter the market trying to get rich quick. They chase trends, crypto spikes, or the next viral stock. Then when the market dips, they panic and sell. Why? Because they didn't build a foundation, they built excitement. Financial success isn't about chasing highs, it's about mastering consistency. The same way compound interest builds over time, your discipline multiplies your results. If you fix your habits, your future fixes itself. If you keep repeating your old mindset, your future repeats your past. Now, imagine what would happen if you made 2025 the year you finally stopped thinking like the average person. The year you stopped living paycheck to paycheck, stopped reacting emotionally to every setback, and started acting like an investor in your own life. That's what this video is about. We'll uncover how to shift your mindset, build money systems that never fail, and start thinking in assets, not just income. This isn't motivation, it's transformation. Because the truth is, wealth isn't built in big moments, it's built in small, smart decisions repeated every day. Before we dive in, take a moment and be honest with yourself. What did 2024 teach you? Did you grow financially or just survive? Are you leading your money, or is your money still leading you? If you want 2025 to truly become your breakthrough year, you need to stop waiting for luck and start designing your success. Because the only thing standing between your dreams and your reality is your strategy. So as you watch this, I want you to do something powerful. Write down your biggest financial goal for 2025 in the comments. Don't just think about it, declare it. You'll be surprised how clarity attracts consistency. Let's begin your transformation. Most people plan their finances the same way they plan their diets, full of excitement in January and full of excuses by March. They tell themselves, this year I'll save more, or I'll start investing. But by mid-year, nothing has changed. The first major shift to make in 2025 is to stop planning like the average person. Average people plan with emotion, successful people plan with logic. They don't write wishes, they design systems. That's the difference between another failed year and a breakthrough one. Think about it. Most people build goals based on motivation. They wait for inspiration to strike or for the perfect moment to begin. But here's the truth: motivation is like caffeine. It gives you a quick high, then disappears. Strategy, on the other hand, is like oxygen. It keeps you alive even when you don't feel inspired. Financial success isn't about having more energy. It's about having a clear, repeatable process. Warren Buffett didn't become one of the richest men alive by chasing excitement. He built wealth by creating rules that protect him from emotional decisions. One of the most common financial errors is confusing activity with progress. You can spend hours reading investment news, following influencers, or watching stock charts and still be broke. Because what matters isn't information, it's execution. The average person consumes financial advice like entertainment. The wealthy treat it like engineering. They map their next move, test small actions, learn from mistakes, and improve every quarter. It's boring, but it works. You don't need more financial hacks, you need more financial discipline. Take the example of long-term investors. When markets crash, average people panic and sell. Strategic thinkers see opportunities and buy. Why? Because they've planned in decades, not months. They understand that wealth is built through time, not timing. The market always rewards patience disguised as courage. Imagine if you treated your financial life the same way, making every decision based on principles, not pressure. 2025 could become the year you finally stop reacting and start designing. Here's a practical step. Instead of writing a list of 10 goals, choose 3 financial priorities that truly matter. For example, build an emergency fund, invest consistently every month, and increase your income through a side project or skill. Then attach a system to each one. Automate your savings, schedule investment reminders, and track your progress every 30 days. You'll be shocked how much consistency outperforms motivation. Remember, structure creates freedom. Now reflect for a moment. How many of your past failures came not from lack of effort, but from lack of clarity? How many times did you have the energy, but no direction? That's the real reason success keeps slipping away. Planning like the average person means doing what's easy. Planning like the wealthy means doing what's proven. If you stop chasing perfection and start chasing process, you'll already be ahead of 90 of people by February. Because in the end, it's not the dreamers who win, it's the designers. So, as we move forward, let's dive deeper into how to build something that doesn't depend on motivation. Let's talk about systems, the quiet machines behind every wealthy person's life. If motivation could make you rich, everyone would already be a millionaire. The problem is, motivation fades faster than your phone battery on a busy day. That's why the second major shift for 2025 is this build money systems, not motivation. The people who win financially don't wake up inspired every day. They wake up organized. Their success doesn't depend on emotion. It depends on automation. They understand that wealth isn't built through constant excitement, but through consistent execution. Let's be honest. When you're driven by emotion, you save money when you feel like it. You invest when the market looks good. You track your spending when things get tight. That's a recipe for inconsistency. Instead, the wealthy make their decisions automatic. They treat their finances like a business, not a mood. Every system is a silent employee, working 24/7, handling savings, investments, debt payments, and cash flow without needing your daily energy. Imagine if you applied that principle to your life, your money would start working harder than you do. Here's what that looks like in practice. Set up automatic transfers so that 10/20 of your income moves directly into your investment account every month. Schedule a weekly 10-minute check-in to review your budget, nothing more. Use tools like expense trackers or digital banks that categorize your spending automatically. The point is to make smart behavior the default option. Systems are like autopilot for your goals. They remove friction, excuses, and emotion. When your habits happen automatically, success becomes inevitable. Think about how pilots fly planes. They don't rely on motivation to stay focused. They rely on systems. When turbulence hits, they trust the instruments. Your financial life needs the same structure. There will be turbulence, unexpected bills, job changes, market dips. But if your financial plane is built on systems, it won't crash when life gets rough. Most people lose control of their finances because they try to feel their way through the storm. The rich follow a checklist. That's the real difference. A huge mistake many people make is assuming that building systems makes life boring. In truth, systems give you freedom. When you automate saving, you buy peace of mind. When you automate investing, you buy time. When you automate discipline, you buy freedom. That's what most people miss. Structure doesn't limit you, It liberates you. It's the same reason professional athletes have routines. They don't want to think about discipline. They want to think about winning. Let's bring this home with an example. Meet Sarah, a 30-year-old who earned an average income but wanted to grow wealth. Instead of trying to save more randomly, she automated 15 of her paycheck into index funds and 5 into a high-yield savings account. She didn't check the market daily, she just trusted her system. 5 years later, her investments grew consistently, even through market dips, while her friends kept waiting for the right time. The difference wasn't luck, it was automation. So here's your reflection. Are you managing your money, or is your money managing you? Do your systems protect you from your weaker moments, or are you still relying on willpower to keep things together? Motivation is unreliable. Systems are unstoppable. And when you master systems, you stop worrying about how to stay disciplined because your discipline runs on autopilot. Now that you understand the power of building systems, it's time to shift your focus from income to ownership. Because real wealth isn't about how much you earn, it's about what you own. Let's explore how thinking in assets, not income, changes everything. Most people spend their entire lives chasing income, never realizing that income alone never creates freedom. You can earn $10,000 a month and still be broke if your lifestyle grows faster than your wealth. The third and most powerful shift for 2025 is this: learn to think in assets, not income, because income pays your bills, but assets buy your time. And the moment you stop trading hours for money and start building things that earn while you sleep, that's when financial independence truly begins. Let's be real. Society has trained us to chase paychecks. From school to corporate life, the message is always the same: study hard, get a job, earn money. But nobody teaches you the second half, how to make that money work for you. The wealthy don't think in terms of salary, they think in terms of ownership. They ask, what will this dollar buy that keeps paying me forever? That's why they invest in stocks, real estate, businesses, or digital assets. Every purchase they make has one purpose: to increase leverage. Because the more your money works, the less you have to. The average person sees money as something to spend. The wealthy see it as something to multiply. Let's take a simple example. Imagine two friends, Lucas and Daniel. Both make the same salary. Lucas spends his extra cash on comfort new phone, dinners, the latest gadgets. Daniel uses that same money to buy shares of a solid index fund every month. After 5 years, Daniel's investments are generating returns that cover his rent, while Lucas is still living paycheck to paycheck. They had the same income, but different mindsets. Lucas built memories. Daniel built freedom. This is the difference between consumers and creators. Consumers chase dopamine through spending. Creators chase dividends through ownership. When you think in income, your focus is on survival. When you think in assets, your focus shifts to independence. The goal is not to have more money in your account, it's to have more cash flow without effort. That's the beauty of assets. They don't get tired, they don't complain, and they don't take weekends off. They just work, silently, 24 hours a day. If you want to make 2025 your breakthrough year, start transforming your income into ownership. For example, take 20 of any extra income you make and invest it into something that grows: a rental property, index fund, or even a small online business that generates passive cash flow. Don't look for quick returns, look for recurring returns. The goal isn't to get rich fast, it's to get free forever. Remember, wealth is a game of patience, disguised as persistence. Here's a financial truth. Few people like to admit your job will never make you rich. It can make you comfortable, yes, but comfort is the enemy of growth. The only path to long-term freedom is ownership. And ownership begins when you stop asking, how can I earn more? And start asking, how can I make my money earn for me? That shift in thinking is the moment everything changes. So as you look at your life right now, ask yourself, how much of your income is tied to your time? How much of it will still exist if you stopped working tomorrow? That's your real wealth score. Don't let 2025 be another year of chasing paychecks. Let it be the year you start building your empire of assets brick by brick, decision by decision, investment by investment. And as we close this journey, let's bring everything together. You've learned how to stop planning like the average person, how to build systems that run on autopilot, and how to think like an owner. Now, it's time to take what you've learned and transform it into daily action. Because your breakthrough year won't happen by chance, it will happen by choice. 2025 doesn't have to be another rerun of disappointment. It can be the year where everything shifts, where clarity replaces confusion and ownership replaces anxiety. But that will only happen if you act differently than you did in 2024. You've seen how every failure leaves a clue. You now know that most people fail not because they're incapable, but because they rely on emotion instead of structure. The good news? You're no longer one of them. You've learned how to plan strategically, build systems that work without you, and think in assets that pay you for life. Remember what we said earlier, average people plan with motivation, but the wealthy plan with mechanisms. They don't rely on willpower, they rely on design. So, if you truly want to make 2025 your breakthrough year, start by putting everything you've learned into motion right now. Create a simple financial map, 3 priorities that will shape your year. First, decide what you'll stop doing. Stop chasing hype. Stop buying distractions. Stop believing that success is luck. Second, define what you'll start doing. Automate your savings, study your spending patterns, and increase your income by building skills. And third, decide what you'll build, one asset that produces money without your daily effort. Whether it's dividend stocks, real estate, or a side business, your first asset changes everything. It doesn't have to be big, it just has to begin. Because the real secret of wealth isn't knowledge, it's momentum. Once you take that first step, your brain starts seeing opportunities instead of obstacles. That's how every self-made millionaire begins, not with luck, but with leverage. Every dollar becomes a worker, every habit becomes a system, and every decision builds freedom. But here's the truth most people ignore. Financial freedom is emotional freedom. When your money works for you, you stop waking up anxious. You stop feeling trapped by your job. You stop fearing the future. You begin living intentionally, deciding how to spend your time, not begging for it. That's the real breakthrough. And it's available to you the moment you start acting like an investor, not a victim. So before you close this video, I want to leave you with one final reflection. When December 2025 arrives, do you want to look back with pride or regret? Because you're building that future right now with every financial choice you make. You don't need permission to become wealthy. You just need direction and discipline. The world won't hand you financial freedom, but it will reward you for creating it. If this message resonated with you, take a second to make a commitment. Hit the subscribe button and join a community of people who refuse to repeat the same mistakes. Leave a comment sharing what your first wealth-building move will be this year. And if you found value here, share this video with someone who needs to hear it too. Because transformation begins with one decision, and this might be yours. Here's to your best year yet. Here's to your financial breakthrough.